Hi everyone, today we're going to be going over a step-by-step guide to a side hustle that could potentially make you $300 a day or even more. So I'm also going to be trying this side hustle out for myself so I can give you my honest opinion and review and let you know how it goes. My name is Rebecca, and on this channel we focus on building wealth and pursuing our dreams without being tied down to a traditional job. So there's a lot of different ways to do that and aspects to it, but today we're going to be focusing on a side hustle which can potentially make you quite a bit of money. So as a quick disclaimer, this content is made for informational purposes only, and if you need serious financial or business advice, I just want to let you know to please seek out a professional in those areas. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and let's jump right into the step-by-step guide on this $300 a day side hustle. Okay, so starting out, we're going to be starting out with the quick and easy step-by-step guide. After that, I'll be giving you my review and we'll go from there. So first of all, this side hustle, you're supposed to be able to do it and make this $300 a day all by utilizing Google News and AI essentially to your own advantage. And you can do it from anywhere in the world. So nice, sounds nice, right? So let's see exactly what we're supposed to do to make this money. So the bare bones of this side hustle is going to be freelance writing work, but there's a special twist on it that makes it easier and faster to help you make more money faster. So if you're not familiar with how freelance writing works, you basically write articles for various different companies, and each of those companies that you're working for freelancing, they're going to pay you for the individual articles here and there. And these companies pay anywhere from a few dollars all the way up to a couple $1,000s per article that you write. And from my research, the average is going to be probably somewhere around $200 per article. And I'm just estimating in my own head from the research that I've done. So not bad, but with this specific method of the freelance writing that we're looking into today, this side hustle and how you utilize the Google News and the AI to make them work for you, what you do is kind of hijack the system. So that way it allows you to pump out a whole lot more articles in a shorter amount of time. So essentially, instead of taking the time and effort that usually goes into freelance writing, you're supposed to be able to use these tools to help you get content ready faster. And of course, the more content you're able to get ready faster, the more money you can make in a shorter amount of time. So you go to Google News, and you are going to pick a topic that interests you. But then you're going to choose an article that seems interesting to you from there, and then you're going to copy and paste that article into an AI tool that's called Spinbot, or if there's anything that are similar, you can do that. And this tool is supposed to rewrite the article for you in a new way. So the tool is going to spit out a new form of that article for you once you just copy and paste it into the tool. And this new form or the new article that it gives you is supposed to be plagiarism free, according to Spinbot themselves. However, I am going to talk more about plagiarism a little bit later because I was a little bit concerned with that. So we'll get into that in a minute here, but at this point, you go ahead and you take that article, you make sure to tweak it, you want to personalize it, you want to make sure that you check it for your own satisfaction, make sure that it's good to go, and then you can go ahead and submit it to a website. There's quite a few websites out there that do buy articles from freelance writers, and I have got 19 of those websites listed here. So these are the ones that I looked over. I'm going to give you a little bit of a review or the lowdown on each one of them. And what I did find is that there's a lot more of these out there. So we're going to look into each of these 19. I'm going to give you the name of each one. I'm going to give you the topic of writing that each one of these accepts. And because they have different focuses, and then I'm going to give you the pay range of each site. But I will tell you that unfortunately, some of these sites were flops when I went to try them out. So I'm going to let you know which ones to go ahead and skip and not even waste your time on them. but it was just a few of them. So the majority of these are going to be pretty good. And I'm going to, like I said, let you know how much you can potentially make per article on each of these sites. The first 4 websites that we're going to go through are ones that will allow you to submit articles on a large variety of topics. So these are not very specific to topics. So if you like writing on a lot of different things, or you're not sure what you want to write on yet, this could be a good place to start. So they are, number 1, freedomwithwriting.com. And they say that they pay anywhere from $10 up to $250 per article. So I think that this one actually connects you with some of the other sites. And I think that's actually kind of nice because they can kind of bring everything into one place for you instead of having to jump around to these different websites. That's my understanding of this website. So number 2 is going to be ProBlogger.com, and they are going to pay you up to $500 per article. But I think that the average is closer to $100 based on my research. So number 3 is going to be Skyward.com, and this... is that a goat? Okay, so number 3 is going to be Skyward.com, and this website will pay you anywhere from 10 cents to $1 per word. So that might sound pretty low to you, but it actually does add up. If you think about it, that would mean if you write a 1,000 word article, you would be getting paid $100. Number 4 is going to be shortstack.com. Now, I did not like what I saw here. I felt like this one was a flop. It seems like it's not really a freelance writing website from what I can see. It seems like it's more like contests and marketing campaigns. I don't know if they have changed what they do or if they also accept articles, but the main problem that I really have with it is that you have to pay to start using it, and I don't like that. So we're just going to skip that one. But up next, we're going to go over a few websites that can pay you for articles related to money. So if you want to write about personal finance, making money, saving, budgeting, frugal living, those type of things, then these 3 websites are a great place to start. So number 1, we have thepennyhoarder.com, which will pay anywhere from $75 to $800 per article. And mind you, all of these numbers that I'm giving, they are US dollars, okay? So that's not bad at all. So number 6 is going to be dollarstretcher.com. And this website will pay you 10 cents per word, which once again, it sounds small, but if you calculate it, it's really not that bad. An average blog post should be anywhere from 300 words minimum up to 2,000 words. So at that rate, you could be getting paid anywhere from $30 for a really quick article, all the way up to $200 for a decent sized article. Okay, so number 7 is going to be incomediary.com. And this one is going to pay you anywhere from $50 to $200 per article that's related to making money. Up next, we're going to do 2 websites that are related to travel. So if you like traveling, if you're interested in that, if you do travel, it's a great opportunity to write about your experiences and get paid for them. These 2 websites, first we have thetravelingwriter.com, which is said to pay between $50 and $200 per article also, but this was my second flop because it seems like a great website when you go on there, but I didn't see any place where you had the opportunity to submit articles or apply for a freelance job or anything like that. So I'm not going to say it's 100% a flop because it seems like a nice travel blog, but I'm going to say that if you are serious about wanting to pursue travel freelance writing and you want to give him a try, then you're probably going to need to send him a message. Number 9 is going to be internationalliving.com. And this one will pay anywhere from $75 all the way up to $400 per article. So that is not bad at all. And again, this one is about traveling, living overseas, retiring overseas, some pretty cool stuff. The next one is going to be related to lifestyle, health, home improvement, those type of things. And this is called .com. This website says that it will pay you anywhere from $100 to $500 per article. The next category of websites is going to be tech related. These websites accept articles related to web design, coding, web development. Number 11 is going to be tootsplus.com, and that will pay you anywhere from $100 to $500 per article. Number 12 is alistapart.com, and this one's going to pay you around $200 per article. Number 13 is another techie one with a different spin, and it is photoshoptutorials.ws. This is going to pay $25 to $300 per article related to Photoshop techniques and tutorials. So this next site offers writing contests and opportunities for specifically female freelance writers. And this is called wow-womenonwriting.com. So they're going to pay you anywhere from $50 to $100 per article from what I was able to find online. Okay, so if you are interested in writing about social issues, environmental issues, culture, those kind of things, then this is a great place for you to start. Number 15 is going to be strongwhispers.com. And they say that they're going to pay you anywhere from a minimum of $50 to $150, but that you can get more. Up next, we have a site where you can write about writing and freelance work. So writersweekly.com is number 16, and they're going to pay you from $30 to $60 per article, depending on some factors of how long it takes to write the article, basically. Up next, we're going to have two websites for people who would like to write about science, history, entertainment, culture, those kind of things. So with this, we have first listburst.com, and they pay $100 per accepted article. And then for number 18, we have cracked.com, and they will pay between $100 and $200 per article. Last but not least, we have one website that will accept personal interviews, essays, and fiction. So if you're into those kind of fun types of writing, you can look into The Sun magazine. This is going to be paying anywhere from $100 all the way up to $2,000 per article. So those are the websites that I have for you today, but there are actually going to be a lot more of these sites out there that will pay great money for articles. So you could actually really make a career out of this freelance writing if you wanted to, or you can just do it as a side hustle like we are doing today. All right, so now I'm gonna shift gears and I'm gonna let you know how it went for me when I actually tried this method out for the side hustle. So remember, the idea of this method is that you can utilize AI and Google News in order to pump out article ideas and articles very, very quickly, so that way you can make more money in theory. So in theory, you'd be able to submit anywhere between 1 and 10 articles per day at least, and then maybe even more. And obviously, if these websites are paying up to $2,000 per article, you can make a whole lot of money. So the 300 is just an estimate. Obviously, it depends on how many articles you can submit, how fast, and how much the website is paying for them. Now, as you'll see here in a minute, this method using SpinBot specifically didn't go so well for me. But I do want you to keep in mind that I still think that there's three ways that you can make this side hustle work for you. And I am going to be going over the suggestions right after I give you this review. So that's going to be the next section. If you want to skip over this whole review section and just go to those ways that you can make this side hustle really, truly work for you, I'm going to leave chapters on the video so you can skip to that section if you want to. But otherwise, let's get into the review and how this went for me when I tried it. So initially, I was planning on trying this side hustle for an entire 30 days in order to let you all know how it would go. But as you'll see, when I went in to try this exact method using SpinBot and Google News, I felt like it was a disaster. I did not like how this particular method worked, but like I said, I do think that you can tweak some things to make it work. But let's just talk about how it went just trying it like this, because I think that you need to be careful and you need to put a couple of measures into place to make sure that you're doing it right, and it's going to be actually able to make you the money that you're looking for without getting into any trouble, such as plagiarism, which we are going to be going over here soon. To follow this method, first I went to Google News, like you're supposed to. I looked around for an article that I thought that I could use, and then once I found an article that I thought I could use, I copied the text and I pasted it into Spinbot. From there, I used the basic spin button because I didn't want to pay any money for this tool right now, just trying it out. And as you can see, the results were pretty awful. So as a quick aside, I do want to point out that I used the basic spin button, which is free, but I did want to say that maybe it's possible that the premium version of Spinbot might solve these issues. I don't know, to be honest. And for the sake of this video, we're just going to be talking about the free version because, I feel like you shouldn't have to pay for something to try it out. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. And I do have a bone to pick with it, so here we go. First off, right off the bat, if you're looking at this on the screen, you can see that the very first sentence that was, spun to the new version, it's identical to the original sentence. So you see the first sentence in the original and the first sentence in the spun version, they're identical. They are identical in the first half of the sentence. I have a huge problem with that. If I am going to submit an article as my own, then I definitely want it to be original. So that's my first problem that I have with Spinbot here. And I just feel like, yes, you could change it, but isn't that what I'm supposed to be using it for? So if it's not going to do that, what's the actual point of using it at all? Because I'm still going to have to do the same work because it didn't actually change everything. So I don't know, it did part of it, but let's get to the next issue that I have with it. The next thing is, if you look at the direct quotes that are in here, you can see that it actually changed the wording of the quotes that are in quotation marks. And to be honest, it's been a long time since I've been in English class, so I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I am pretty sure that this is a huge no-no. You can't paraphrase words and still put quotes around them. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, put it in the comments, let me know. But to me, this just seemed like a huge issue, like a huge red flag. And granted, if it had paraphrased the words and removed the quotation marks, I really wouldn't have an issue with that because that would make sense. But that's not the case. It actually left the quotation marks, changed the wording of the quotes. And again, you technically could take the quotation marks off, but then the wording is going to be like a quote. So you're going to have to reword everything so that it's not like a quote. And you're also going to have to be really careful to check back and forth to make sure that you're changing the right things. And so to me, it would be easier almost to just rewrite the whole article on my own. But number 3 is I did want to look into plagiarism. And so I did a little more research on this to refresh myself. It's been a long time. I was a little concerned that even if you change the wording here, that this is still going to be bordering on plagiarism. So let's look at what I found online. I'm going to pop it up on the screen here. So now technically you can get away with this as long as you are careful to cite the original source. So even if you change everything around, you reword it, it's original and everything, and you paraphrase fully, blah, 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 all this stuff, you still have to remember to cite your source. So this is really, really important that you understand. It's doable, it's not that difficult, but I just don't personally have the experience to say exactly how that would go with, each of these websites and their policies and everything, but I do know, as far as plagiarism goes, you would be okay under those circumstances. So let's get into the final portion of this video, which is how can you actually successfully make money with this side hustle? And the first option that I think is potentially valid is if you try to use the premium version of this AI tool, but I'm not personally going to be recommending that to anybody. I have no affiliation with them, and I think that that's the reason why some people do recommend them. And I just don't really feel like you should have to spend money on a tool like this in order to start making money, especially when you've never gotten the chance to try the tool out yet. So you could go ahead and try that and see if it works. Like I said earlier, it's supposed to be 70% better than the free version, but I'm not here to promote it. I'm just saying it could be a potential option if you wanted to try it. Number 2 is going to be using the free version of that tool, but you definitely need to make sure that you are careful about the 3 things that I mentioned. So first, the identical portions that have not been changed at all. Secondly, the parts where the quotes were changed within the quotation marks. Like I said, I have a huge problem with this, and I just think it's something that you need to look out for. Make sure that you are removing those quotation marks and, changing the wording so that it makes sense grammatically and everything. Or you could just go back to the original and copy and paste the original quote, and I think that would solve the problem, because there's no reason not to put a direct quote into your article, as far as I know. And then thirdly, remember to cite your source, because if you're going to be using this method where you use Google News, you definitely want to let everybody know where you got that information for that article, because you don't want to risk plagiarism or getting in trouble. Now, the third way that I think that you could definitely make money with this side hustle is to just kind of go the old-fashioned way and learn how to write your own fantastic articles, because you're not going to have any issues with spin-bot or plagiarism to worry about at all. You certainly can succeed with this if you're willing to work on some writing skills. From what I can see, you can potentially start making a whole lot of money as a freelance writer if you're dedicated. So those are a couple of ways that you can still make some good money with this. But if you want to see me test the other ones, the 3 options that I just listed, you can feel free to let me know, and I will probably be able to find the time for that coming up here soon. I am definitely an old-fashioned type of believer that nothing really does come to us without hard work, especially money. But at the same time, I do understand that it's good for us to learn how to work smarter and not always just harder. And so I think if we combine these things, we can really succeed and thrive. And so that's why I did want to give this side hustle a try this month. But that's going to be it for today. And I just want to know what you think about this side hustle, guys. Have you tried it? Has it worked for you? What do you think? And if you made it to the end of this video, guys, I am just so honored that you would take all of your time to be here with me and learn this information. I really hope that it was helpful, whether you end up deciding to try it or to skip it. I hope that this gave you some insight on what you want to do moving forward. And guys, until next time, please remember that you are loved, you're not alone, and you've got this. Bye-bye.